basically, the village itself, Newmarket Village, encompasses 56 acres of entertainment, food, shops, magic, and just absolute joy.
Magic?
Joy.
And shows.
Entertainment.
Magic!
Food.
Okay.
Oh, one word answers. Okay, so.
Frivolity, or whatever it's called.
Music.
Lift up like has.
Frivolity.
Frivolity. There you go. They're better at it than I am. Forget the credits.
I think what it was I heard this like fire alarm howling sound, and then
No, I'm pretty sure it
like
was the Hogwarts porn that Harley made us read before the show.
Welcome back to Fanboy TV, everyone.
Hey, welcome to the show today. We're
Wow.
kicking off our fun month of Halloween shows. We're going to have just a bang-up job, and we're going to kick it off with the evolution of the haunt attraction, because we were at Scream Hollow this week, which was hilarious. Hit our Facebook page to watch Jeffrey acting like a little girl and screaming.
I
jumping.
How did you like our wake-up call for you?
Actually, I did not see that until I think it was today or yesterday.
Yeah, he watched it late.
What? Well, I don't have internet access until I get to work, so.
So here's the funniest thing was they knew we were coming, and Slinky knew Jeffrey was a pansy, so he let everybody know. So everyone that worked there was taunting him. Then everyone that was just there to go through it started taunting him. It was hilarious.
Every single person. So check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/fanboytv. It has all our live streams, and we do some interesting stuff on there. And the video footage is just
amazing,
priceless.
And if you like it, hit like. Let us know.
Yeah, make sure you let us know. And so we brought in PJ, who's doing the Sexy Terror Challenge, and Eddie's going to be on with us. And my first time using a mister, they were making fun of me because I had no idea how it works.
It's very moist over here.
Yeah, it's very moist. I didn't know.
We might want to turn that off before we flood the desk. We have paperwork up here.
Yeah,
So anyways,
Anyway.
we're going to go ahead and get this show started because we've got a brand new Pros and Nos, the return of 10 things. We have these great guests coming on to talk about Texas Terror Challenge and haunts and how they've gone from the simple school walkthrough boo to really fully interactive things. It's going to be lots of fun. And we'll have a special surprise for everyone at the end of the show because I'm going to force them to drink something absolutely disgusting.
What are we drinking?
You don't want to know.
Let's do shots. Where's Valerie?
So let's kick
gotta
things off
figure
right now
something
with Pros and Nos with Jeffrey and Pocky.
We get to do something together.
Yay!
Save me.
I don't want it to be near the spewing head of Darth Vader. I think it's gonna get all over me. I know it. So we're talking about 4 movies that deserve a facelift, possibly a remake, a reimagining. And for some of these, thankfully, they're old enough to get their tax returns.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
I agree. So,
In fact, one of mine is almost a century.
Oh,
But you're gonna start first because you're new. So we'll start with you.
we're new. I'm new. So we're going to go ahead and do this. All right. So my movie, I got to say, is The Howling. This is going to be me for a pro here. So I think we should switch real quick because you know what? I'm a pro. Why not? All right. So The Howling is like one of the greatest movies I think of all time. I like the story arc.
Mhm.
It's about a woman who basically, goes throughout the woods and such, and she gets bitten by a werewolf, and she meets all this cult and everything, and she's
a
slowly
reporter too.
she is, and she slowly becomes a werewolf, and she becomes like a full-fledged werewolf on TV. So
Yes.
I think it totally needs to be remade. I think with our technology that we have nowadays, and with the fandom of werewolves, I think this would be perfect.
I think you're on track.
I'm gonna shave your beard.
No, my wife would kill you.
That is true.
So here's the reason why. One,
Okay.
all the werewolves would be CGI BS, not practical effects like they did back in the day. It would be this crazy CGI 8-foot. One, the ending of that movie was perfect. You gotta admit the way that movie ended, it was supposed to be
Look at
perfect.
this. He's agreeing with me, guys.
Hold on. They would change the ending so it would be more uplifting, because I don't want to ruin the ending. But they would change the ending to make it more uplifting. You know how that movie would end would be the two reporters walking away at the end. That's not how you want it.
No, of course that's not.
The other thing is, the directors of this would treat it totally cynical. They would talk about, like, they would make it a message movie about, like, media and stuff and how it's covering it up. So you would lose the entire point of it being a horror movie.
Well, that's
And
how
would
it is.
be
That's how it
PG-13.
is every time now. Media's always going to cover up some whatever government
Right,
crap.
but we don't need
But I
a
think it's-
horror movie that way. Sure. What about your next one?
All right, my next movie. Where's all these notes over here? City of the Dead. Now this is. Thank you.
You're
Those
welcome.
are mine. Jerk.
I know.
City of the Dead is a 1960 movie. It's about a town this town is run by witches, and they are sacrificing townsfolk in order to become immortal. And this girl hears about it. She goes to town, and she's so curious about witchcraft, and she's like, I want to know stuff about witchcraft. And the guy's like, no, you shouldn't be here. You should get out of town. Leave while you still can. So it gives you a really good story arc. I was like, why is she here wanting to learn about witchcraft? What is going on in the town? And as the movie goes on, she basically finds out everyone's starting to slowly get killed off because they're doing rituals. And once everyone's dead in the town, the witches become mortal.
And
I think
also-
that is immortal, not mortal. I think that is a fantastic story arc. There's no point for you to say this should not be remade.
It totally should not be remade. Two
Why
things.
should it not be remade?
One, Christopher Lee started that movie. How are you going to replace him? Two, one name, Rob Zombie. This would be made by Rob Zombie. It would star his wife, and it would be a gigantic FU music video. It would look like...
We're going to stop Pocky right there because there's no reason whatsoever why you should ever diss, whatever, Rob Zombie. Our
Halloween
friend
2.
Eddie Ryan over at Zombie Life TV would agree with me. If you diss, I'm just going to say, if you diss Rob Zombie, dude, you're going to get the shoe to the face.
I just got to say, Halloween 2, a movie so bad even Rob Zombie can't defend it. Because he hasn't. It's true.
Rob Zombie, if you're watching this, I apologize on behalf of all the cast and crew of Fanboy TV. You are getting declined on that. I win this round. And now let's go ahead and turn back to yours.
Okay, we're going to go here.
I swear, people.
I
That's
know.
what I have to work with.
All right.
So let's go to your next movie.
1983's Disney movie. This is going to be so weird.
This
'cause
is
I've
so
seen the
weird.
Disney movie.
I just learned this is actually a Disney movie, and I watched this, and I was like, wait a minute. What? So, please proceed.
Something wicked this way comes. A Ray Bradbury book turned into a movie. I think this would be a great one. You get Malcolm McDowell involved, play the main villain because it's Malcolm McDowell. Why the heck not? You can get Christopher Columbus, who did The Sorcerer's Stone, as the director, or Del Toro. Del Toro did the Hellboy movies. You get him as the director. You can get some really nice, talented young cast members, people from like the Mrs. House and Mrs. Thing involved, and it would be a great. It could still be PG-13 and work in this day.
You're wanting to remake a classic movie that is just you cannot remake that movie with all the actors and just the cinematography. I mean, yeah, we have all this new technology and everything, and all these great actors and the directors and everything. No, it should stay the way it is. It's a classic movie to look back on and say, "Wow, that was really good for all the amount of like technology they had back then. Look what they did. I thought it was perfect. It gave you that eerie factor of everything. You just no.
You still have some great cinematographers today. Again, guys who did Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, or the guys who did some great cinematography, some great mood music. You have some great guys. The guys who did the Sinister soundtrack.
Great. That's all I'm hearing is great.
Great.
Pocky, come on, dude. No, you cannot do that.
It's
Such a classic movie. That's something you want to go back to and hold for. I mean,
It
no.
was, to be fair, also it was a failure in the theaters. It's just now got its cult status.
I will say that. And
So
yeah.
So it was good. But now I get to whip out my pretentious filmmaker card right now. I get to go, bam, filmmaker card.
That's a candy wrapper.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me get my.
That's a receipt.
Bam! I get my card out. Don't even show what that is. No. That is my pretentious film person card, because now I get to go to 1920 German silent movie that you gotta go to YouTube and watch.
All right, go ahead and give your thesis on this, and I will explain why this should not be remade.
The Cabinet of Dr. Kilgari, silent, great movie. It is actually, if you watch it today, this day it still holds up as a horror movie. It's set. You gotta remember, 1920s German silent movie. The sets were entire in blip hanger to make this movie happen. It's creepy. It's dark. It still holds up to this day. Many people have regarded it as the first true horror movie.
And you just gave me reasons why this should not be remade.
Terry Gilliam or Bong Joon-ho could direct this movie and do a great job. Particularly Terry Gilliam, a man who's known for visual stunningness. The Imaginarium, Dr. Floss. Punk Chao did the original Old Boy. You can get some great mood with these guys, and you can make this movie work really, really well. With hypnosis, this day and age, with hypnosis and the apps, you can make the villain again really awesome, and it still works.
No, you can't do it that nowadays. It's a silent movie. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't think people are really going to be interested in it. It's like, let's get drunk and high or whatever. Let's go to the theaters and watch this. And then they're going to walk out. It was like, that was kind of lame. It's just like, no, the silent movies should not be rewritten whatsoever. I mean, it was weird. It was vivid. The amount of artwork that they did was just so bizarre.
Right. And
you should not, I'm just going to say it. I'm putting my foot on the table right now. Silent movies, and there it goes, should not be remade. Unless I'm on an acid trip or I'm drunk off my mind, we're not remaking it.
I think you can remake it. I think you could add some dialogue. It's fine.
No! Silent movies, you don't add dialogue.
Dude, they've remade silent movies before.
I know, but it's just not this one, dude. They said it was basically the first horror movie of all time.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen,
the first modern,
pros and nos, Jeffrey.
So put your comments down below. Tell us
Pocky.
who you agree with. Do you agree with me, the intellectual, or do you agree with Jeffrey because he's pretty? Either way, leave us comments down below. But right now, we'll start with this week's new Geek Week News.
I like robots. Robots.
Good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of Geek Week News. I'm your host, Jeffrey.
And I'm Alice. Let's jump right into the news this week, shall we, Jeffrey?
Yes. The East Coast is seeing a lot of violent action between rival horror gangs. The Campers, the gang that follows Jason Voorhees, has been clashing with the Dreamwalkers, the gang that loves Freddy Krueger. Oh, love that man. In disputes over whose horror idol is the best. The opposing gangs have been reported getting in fights in local public areas, leading to high body counts. The problem is the Campers work in silence, and so the Dreamwalkers never hear them coming. And the Dreamwalkers work in the nightmares, but most of the Campers are so messed up, they don't have nightmares. I mean, drugs, everything. I mean, we had Smurfs last time. The feud is ongoing, and the Officer Mooney has issued a curfew for the East Coast as new horror icon gangs are emerging. The Buddies, the Screamers, and the Xenos! Officials have reported that the heads of these gangs are the very icons the gangs adore, have yet to make a public appearance, leading many to think that they may not have hand in these gangs at all. So if you're on the East Coast, lock your door and board up your windows. You never know what's going to go bump in the night.
I don't know why they're fighting. Why can't they just get along and continue a mass murdering spree all over America? Unify. It's more efficient that way.
What the hell, Alice? I was trying to be creepy. No, that's just wrong. Wrong.
What? Read
the script.
The state versus Hotel Transylvania has come to a standstill over legalese and guest contracts that have come to light. For those who are just catching up on this monumental case, the state has pressed criminal charges on Dracula and Company for the high body count of Hotel Transylvania.
Neat.
This has caused a massive investigation into the reasons why. Well, the reasons are pretty clear, according to Dracula's lawyer, the sweet transvestite lawyer Rocky. If you put humans with monsters, something is bound to happen. Vampires need blood. Blobs need flesh.
That they do.
Werewolves need to hunt. And the invisible man needs to be a voyeur. I've always wanted to be invisible. It's in their nature.
It's in your nature now.
It's in the contracts It's also in the contracts that the guests sign before they get their keys. This new fact has come to the court as shut down by the lead counsel, which have met to figure out how to proceed. Dracula was unable to comment, but Rocky was quoted in saying he's dying of anticipation for the case to get overturned.
Isn't you jump to the left and you step to the right? Put your hands on your hips or somebody else's and bring them in real tight. Anyways, hey, we own the Geek Week News now. Where are you at, Lance and Stephanie? We miss you guys. After a nearly 30-year absence, the space-faring race of critters have returned to the Earth, only to find that they are not only very unfrightening, but also very confused. The change in the technology over the last few decades have a little furballs with teeth at a loss as they realize they are no more, but now fossils compared to everything that is going on today. Even the horror icons are upgraded, and they do not fit in with the rules and the regulations of the current slashers union. The critters find that they just don't cut in the horror icons in this day and age. To make matters worse, preteens have begun to find critters adorably deranged and have been adopting the alien beasties when they come across them. And it looks like the gentrification of the ghouly horror species has begun. There's been no word yet on the famed Puppet Master troupe in this matter. Though the classic iconic group is expected to make a statement any day now, just like they did 20 years ago for the Gremlins when they found themselves in the exact same situation. They're like Tribbles, only with teeth and big eyes.
You know the problem with Tribbles, right? You get one, and then you get them. And then you get them everywhere. Are you enjoying that?
Yes. Anyways.
The new fad sweeping the nation is a puzzle and escape room unlike anything you have ever seen before. The I Want to Play game franchise spawned by Jigsaw's followers has become the it thing to do. But unlike other escape rooms, you must be nominated by someone who probably really hates you. Hates you so much that they wish you were dead in order to find yourself in the most complex and adrenaline-fueled escape room to date.
You are getting the most weirdest things about death lately.
We wish we could get a report on the trending experience, but alas, have yet to find someone who has successfully made it out of this room in one piece. But if you find yourself on the receiving end of Jigsaw's invitation, please keep us in mind. We would love to talk to you.
Yeah, we would really like to talk to you. Really, someone just call 911.
I don't know about this being nomination based because you're still here.
There's a script.
Now, let's check in with Goldfish on the search for Lance and Stephanie continues.
Thanks, guys. Do you see this city? It is completely and utterly destroyed by this massive party. Now, I hear over at the police station there's some stars and there's a party over there or something like that. Maybe they can help me find Lance and Alan. All right, back to you guys.
Well, that party looks pretty dead. You know what I mean.
Of course it's dead. There's a storm coming in. I hope they have an umbrella to protect them.
You have the worst puns known to humankind.
I love them.
That's it for Geek Week News. I am Jeffrey.
And I am Alice.
Someone call 911. Help, help, help!
Jeffrey. Good night.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We have water on the table. Halloween's trying to kill us today. It's been lots of fun.
I keep telling you, we started tempting Christmas and now we're doing Halloween.
Come to the table. You don't
Now
you're not gonna be
I
afraid.
think I'm gonna get electrocuted.
So we want to talk today about the evolution of the haunt, which everyone loves haunted houses. When it comes to be Halloween, that's like the first thing we think about. Oh, we want to go to a haunted house. Now, one of my favorite things when I was a kid was, the traveling carnivals, they had the haunted trailer ride. Yeah. That was my favorite. It was the cheesiest. It was the worst, but it was the most fun.
They had all the squiggly mirrors.
Yeah, and the skeleton will fall out of the coffin and go, "Blah!"
You can still smell the cigarette smoke on everything.
You certainly could.
For 10 years, 15 years.
Eddie's going to join us momentarily. He got a haunting call out there, but let's go ahead and introduce our guest. Back on the show is
Paul Fierro, Texas Terror Challenge, Desolation Manor.
Yeah, who better to come talk about the illusion of haunt than the man who's doing it himself? And
Todd Higgins, also Desolation Manor.
what do you do?
I am the special effects artist.
Oh, you got
So you're the reason we pee ourselves.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the reasons.
And then Pocky's going to be here. So let's just start with everyone's favorite type of haunted house growing up, because I told you what mine was. What was yours?
I really enjoyed the school haunts. Going through the gym, sticking
You
your hands,
fail! Like they got
sticking it-
rulers. And
No, stick your hands in the bowls of spaghetti and, have the other kids throwing eyeballs at you and stuff like that.
Oh, the fun
Like
cheek thrills.
Yeah, the school carnivals.
Jeffrey,
Haunts.
it's okay. It's okay. Go back in the closet. Yuck.
What is yours?
Honestly, my favorite ones were the house-to-house neighborhood haunts. You always had that one person in the neighborhood who went a little further for Halloween. He went through their house. They had the
The
DIY,
garage totally made out.
Yeah.
Like the trash bag walls.
the trash bag walls, and the jump scares and all that crazy stuff. It was the raw inventiveness of it that I really
My
liked.
mom was really good at that. Like, she figured out how to make the Invisible Man with some coat hangers, because at night you couldn't tell that there was coat hangers.
Yeah.
And she had, like, the fishing line for the spider web. She was queen of that stuff.
They'd always stick Grandpa in the coffin in the garage.
Yeah,
so
that's what really did.
you hear
What
that,
about you, Pocky?
Mine actually, sadly, I grew up in north of Austin. So I went to a lot of hell houses.
Hell, I really want to go to a hell house.
So I'm not gonna. If you don't know what a hell house is, YouTube it. But it's for those who don't know. It's made generally by a church, and it teaches people how to what hell is gonna be like. Yeah.
Don't drink because you're gonna die. Don't have
Oh,
sex
yeah.
because you're gonna die. Don't read the
Abortion,
Bible
like,
because
there's a
if you
woman
don't, you're
having
gonna
her
die.
Yeah.
There's a woman having her stomach ripped open because
She had premarital sex. I mean,
Yeah,
and
it's
she's
the most
pregnant.
bizarre
Yeah.
stuff.
it's really bad.
I
So-
really want to go to a house at some point.
See,
in time.
the best part was when I got old enough to be cynical. So,
all the
it's
sins.
not being scary, it's being cynical. Yeah. Right.
So, let's start with Texas Terror Challenge, because when we talk about the illusion of haunt, most places when you go through it, you're not going to be touched. You can pretty much pinpoint where the scares are going to come out, because it's all pretty much by the book. Scare Fear Cure, you're going to get dirty. You're probably going to get touched.
Oh, yeah.
But you do something completely different. Tell everyone what you do.
So, in addition to touching people and stuff like that, we chase them around the woods. Basically, we put them in an interactive storyline, and we make them basically find things just like you would in a video game. So it's just kind of a combination of a couple different things, haunts, LARPs, scenario paintball games, airsoft games. So we're just combining everything together and completely immersing people in the game. And
So how did you come up with this idea? Like, were you just sitting around going, I don't have enough headaches on my plate. Let me try this something brand new.
it's actually kind of a funny story. It's because I'm getting old and broken. I used to play paintball. I used to be very active in the haunt scene here in Austin. I suck at playing video games, though I like watching them. LARPs, I just have a hard time getting into. And I sat at home one day, and it's like, I'd really like to be able to do all these things. And what better way than to make my own thing?
True.
And so it lets me make the rules and lets me explore the darker side of me. As my girlfriend likes to say, there's a little dark heart that lives inside my chest, and
that's nice.
It thrives.
You have a dark heart.
on terrifying people and making them have not unnatural body movements, but
Yeah, they're doing things they didn't think they would actually do in a haunt. So, what about you, Todd? What did you decide? You know what? This sounds like fun.
My start really kind of was weird. I started with modifying Nerf guns.
Who
And then I
hasn't?
got-
Let's be honest
Right.
here.
Who hasn't? It's fun. And then I found out that there was an entire business in making props for films, and I've always loved films. And so I started building props for films, and then I bumped into some people who worked in the haunt industry, PJ being one of them. And
I
just
imagine
kind
he's
of
like, I've got an idea.
yeah, largely this is how our conversations go. He sends me a text message and says, "Hey, I have this idea. How do we make it happen?" And so I figure it out. I love the problem
But
solving.
it's usually because nobody else wants to hear my ideas anymore because they all go, "Oh God, this is going to hurt somebody or cost us a lot of money."
Did you shorten your mustache so you couldn't twirl it anymore?
I've got this diabolical scheme.
When your special effects backfire on you, you occasionally have to shave out the
Okay.
mustache.
I thought it is.
You and me just got like, no. You'll
I'm
have
about to
some
be face first with
slime
some
and
gore,
garbage.
so-
in
And it's funny.
weeks.
My operations director for this event, every time we start talking about, it, she just goes, "I'm leaving the room. I've got to leave the room."
We give her heart palpitations.
Yeah, I know the way those text messages go. Ours is a little different. I've got the craziest idea for another show. They're like, another show? Okay, let's do this. They're over alongside like Eddie. It's like, I've got the craziest idea. I think you were in that text message of a new midnight show. And he's like, okay. So I can imagine my ideas are probably a lot safer than, hey, a gore cannon backfire incident where you're like mauled forever with slime.
What was the recent one we talked about? Zombie tornado?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That sounds like a Sci-Fi Channel
It
original
does.
movie.
They made 4 movies about sharks getting flung around by a tornado. Why can't we do Zombie
They made a
Nado?
movie about snakes on a plane.
They also made Atomic Tornado, which was about a tornado that hit an atomic plant and became
power plant.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta find that one.
Why are we making these movies? Like, seriously.
because we don't know how to market. I think I don't know.
We don't know the right people to throw
and-
horrible scripts at? Is that what it is?
You just gotta throw enough of them.
Yeah, well, we're pretty sure we can write a bunch of horrible scripts.
We've already have.
I mean, all the bootlegs.
I've got a whole bucket full of things.
What
for,
is your
for haunts.
worst? What is your worst one?
My worst idea?
Yeah.
It's worst only because nobody wants to go around and clean up after the people.
What are you
After-
killing people or something?
After they defecate and piss all over the place.
Oh, so it's a one of those kinky German haunt events for you guys right
So-
there.
so-
Jawohl.
you think-
Jawohl, mein Herr.
Do you think that a lot of houses, even smaller ones now, have gotten more technological? Do you think it's that because technology's just gotten so much easier to use versus like having a wind machine? Like I remember seeing old wind machines from like 1980 film sets were like huge.
Yeah.
And still all they could do is move the woman's hair. Now it's like I could buy a leaf blower from Radio Shack, from Lowe's for like $50, and it will do the exact same thing a gigantic wind machine used to do back in the day.
Well, and the funny thing about it is you talk about technology being available to haunted houses. The reality is that some of the really good haunts don't use much in the way of technology.
And see,
It's some of the most basic stuff, but it takes somebody to assemble it and know how to discharge it without shooting somebody's eye out.
You have to know a lot of
That it
different things to make a
happens.
haunt very successful.
and you brought up a good point that they don't like. I think House of Torment relies heavily on technology and effects, whereas Scream Hollow relied on setting, the way they built it, props, actors. To me, that was far more fun than going through a cookie cutter haunted house where you're like, okay, oh, boo, you can't touch me,
Yeah.
And
For example, my daughter went through a local haunt. I'll leave it at that. Last year, she said there was only one room that had an effect that she had never seen before, and she said it was so predictable that she knew what was going to happen before it happened. So people that rely too much on technology or on effects are doomed to fail, and that is industry wide. It happens every time.
Can we say said the same for horror movies? The ones that just run on cheap scares never succeed,
or the ones that are 100% CGI.
Yeah, because they're going to show
You
their
rely
age.
too much on one thing, anything's going to fail.
well, let's be honest here. The same things that scared us in the 50s don't scare us today.
No.
So you have to bring in the technology because everyone's expecting
Well,
it.
and I'll back that up. Some of the execution of them doesn't terrify us. Some of the concepts are the same.
Yeah.
Things that go bump in the night.
Zombies, for example.
Yeah, sometimes that concept in the old movies, you knew somebody was standing outside with a trash can. Nowadays, when you have surround sound systems and you have the ability to have sounds that actually will travel around a room,
It's great.
it gives you that is
the
technology.
chasing sound effect,
but it's the application of technique sometimes lets us resurrect old concepts.
Well, when you talk about the techniques of it, especially with the sound thing, the first time I ever really noticed that was in the first Silent Hill game because the radio would go off in a different speaker letting you know which direction the monster was coming from.
Yeah.
Totally rocked my world.
Right.
Because I was a huge Resident Evil fan, and then I picked up Silent Hill and I was like, this is good. And when we've been to some of these haunts, you're right. There's a good way to do the technology and the effects and the way they work it, and then there's a bad way to do it. But I think so many people just rely on the bad way because it's become like a factory industry. Get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out, get them in, get them out.
Just like the movie industry.
Well, I think the direction of haunts really has to rely on interaction. I think fans of haunts are done with the, not even theatrical, just the showcase haunts. They're done with everything, the static haunts. Things sit there. Yeah. They're done with that. That is old. There's a way to resurrect some of that, but for the most part, that's kind of passé. So now, really, the way to do it is to get people to interact with the actors, to interact with the effects, and that is where you start dealing with, instead of having an actor that can repeat lines, you start getting into actors that are good
in improv,
good improv actors, and they're able to start rattling stuff off, and it really starts adding to the depth and to the flavor of the haunt.
I think also it's I've noticed it's going with Silent Hill a little bit. It's knowing also your limitations and how to turn that limitation to a positive. The graphics processing example of Silent Hill was very limited. So how they got around that was they put a fog over everything. That way it didn't have to render the city at a far distance.
When it comes to a haunt attraction, there's not a whole lot of limitations outside of money.
Well, it's also your
There
lighting.
are actual
There's
limitations.
more than you think.
Fire code, physics.
Oh yeah, physics is a big one.
Space is a legitimate limitation. There are ways to mitigate a lot of these, but you still are grounded in the laws of physics.
Also, like he said, space. Also, like you were
But he didn't say
outside. Space. But also at the same time, Space Ghost, you're an idiot.
Yes, I am.
Missy Zorak. But like example, you went to an outside one. How do you deal with Texas that at 9 o'clock at night is guaranteed to still probably have sunlight and still make it frightening to
Well,
someone?
no, because we're in that time of year now where it's getting darker earlier.
Right, but it's
And
still.
I think Halloween is that just perfect. I mean, October's a perfect month for Halloween and haunts because the weather starts to get nice. So, looking at all the haunts that have been out there, how did you decide to approach yours and do something different and ballsy and be like, yeah, you know what, you're gonna die?
So I've been doing haunts for on and off, whether it's home haunts, commercial haunts, for going on 20 years. I've seen a lot of different ways people are doing it. I've worked in two of the major commercial haunts in Austin, and taking a lot of those lessons learned. And like I said, I wanted something different. And one of the things that I always ran into in the creative process in the other haunts was, we can't do that. That's a little too intense. Well, what are these people paying us for, except to provide something very intense?
A raw visceral reaction.
So I kind of rely on those concepts from LARPs, from video games, because I tell you what, there's some of the most terrifying things that I've seen have nothing to do with TV or movies. They're video games.
Yeah.
Some of those Left 4 Dead and some of those things where you know something's going to happen, but that stuff just catches you, and it's like, we need to incorporate this. We need to figure out how to make this happen. And
how do you replicate something like this?
And I think teaching people how to scare others is actually very easy once you get them out of their shell. So it's pushing the envelope and making people uncomfortable. And I'm very good at that.
I would say with this crew, we already mastered that. Right, Jeffrey? So I have a question for you because...
It's not a show if Jeffrey doesn't throw a shoe.
True. Question for you is, some people, after a while, because it is 3 days long, your Texas Terror Challenge, if someone's like, you know what, I'm done. And not in a bad way, it's just, I can't do this anymore, I'm tired, I'm a little too tired, can I tap out? Can they tap out, or I mean, because a lot of people are thinking like, oh, 3 days? Does that mean I have to be for all three? Because it's kind of frightening. That right there is kind of a frightening concept.
Yes, they can. I won't go into details, but we have a couple different methods. People can basically go, I'm done. I'm out. Let me go.
Well, I mean, he brings up an interesting point. Most haunted houses people can do like an afternoon. Yours is an entire probably more like a day and a half.
It's 39 hours.
Yeah, it's 39 hours. And that's some people can really commit to that. I mean, are you finding that it's a lot of people want to do it, or is it more like the LARPers or the hard? Like, there's a specific group of people.
To be honest, the first Terror Challenge that we did, I had almost no LARPers. I had I had a few people that were big haunt fans. A lot of people did it because it was something they had never heard of. You know, they liked getting scared, and they liked the idea of the challenge. And you know, the beauty about this is that, and I tell people, you can play it as long and as hard as you want, or you can take a rest. It's accounted for in the story. As a participant in the story, you know, we know in the real world Survivor, you got to sleep sometime.
Everybody's got their
So
limit.
at some point, go lay down in the tent. You're in a Survivor camp. Go lay down in the tent. Stuff happens. People are going to wake you up. So it's built into the story that I gotta sleep. I gotta eat. We do those things. I don't make people go out there and run for 39 hours and chase them with cattle prods. Although that
Unless your name is Eddie Rotten and you're wearing flip-flops.
those were discussed, but again, operations director nixed the cattle prod thing.
So what
I'm
is
just
the
imagining
lessons
our poor brother running
you
around.
learned from the first one to the second one?
What are things that I learned?
Yeah, what are the top things you learned, the both of you?
Bigger isn't always better.
I'm planning, like a lot of forward planning. PJ and I have sat down, probably 3 months ahead of time. We've got things down, scheduled. This is what's needed here. This is what's going to go into it. Props people, the works.
So you feel you're a little bit more prepared for this one?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The first event I knew was going to be just horribly disorganized. Had never done it before. Biggest lesson, you can't be the only person that knows the plan.
Yeah, that kind of helps at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, somebody,
Because at some point, I got really tired.
Shock.
And it's like, whoa, you know, the room's spinning and stuff. And finally, the girlfriend was like, you need to sit down and sleep. And it's like, I can do this.
So we're going to be down there at the end of this month. What are the dates?
It's October 28th through the 30th. Starts on a Friday night. It runs continuously through a Sunday morning.
So you'll see us down there having some fun. And where can people find out more about this?
Website, they can register at desolationmanor.com and go to the store, and you can buy the tickets and everything. If you go to texasterrorchallenge.com, that's the page that's got the FAQs, helpful hints, the rules, regulation stuff, all that formal
So one of your
stuff.
FAQs, how much blood should I be expected to get on my body?
Gallons.
We actually tell people to consider bringing at least 4 changes of clothes.
It's a lot of changes of clothes for the zombie apocalypse. So
For Gavin, that will be double because
yeah, because I change a lot of clothes and a lot of stuff.
he cannot get dirty.
We have enough storage for over 100 gallons of blood and slime, and we will probably refill that at least once during the weekend.
I'm in
All
there for
right,
twice.
so that's at the end of October. You guys don't want to miss it. Head to desolationmanor.com for more information. Plus, you can find out more about it as we're down there. You'll see us doing things on Facebook and as the whole event happens. And we'll probably do a follow-up show afterwards. And, of course, you'll probably be on Zombie Life TV with Eddie because this is on Eddie's field, which I've been down there for. Is huge.
That's a great location.
Yeah, except it's way out in the middle of nowhere. So if an apocalypse actually happens, we're probably screwed.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't know.
Actually, you're pretty safe. Nobody's going to find you out there in the field.
Nobody's going to find you out there in the middle of nowhere. So we'll be back with a brand new 10 things right after this. Oh, Harley, you are just too, yeah. So welcome to this week's 10 things list. I wanted Harley to do this one with me because it's fall, which means there's pumpkin spice everything. Like, I mean everything.
And I am one white girl that hates pumpkin spice.
She bought yoga pants just for this show. So we decided the worst things you could pumpkin spice eyes, like the worst things. And she sent me her 5, and I had to try to top that 5. So let's kick it off with our number 10, which of course would be
my Tampax pumpkin spice tampons.
I lost it. Like this, I'm surprised they haven't done it because let's face it, white girls love their pumpkin spice.
I was really surprised. When he sent me this, I actually was walking through a store and I looked over on the shelf.
Don't tell him yet. Don't tell him yet. We're gonna get there.
But everything on my list is from the store.
Yeah. So pumpkin spice tampons. I don't understand because you would get the blood and spice, and that's not appealing at all. Seriously.
And nobody wants to smell pumpkin
Well,
spice.
it's better
from
than
your
fish, so I think it would be okay.
Maybe, I don't know. To a degree.
where this list is going from here. So up next on our list is one of my choices, kitty litter.
But
Can you imagine how gross pumpkin spice kitty litter has to be?
I'm imagining like you smell the pumpkin spice
And then the cat. And then you're like, I don't know if I should
With
be
a-
hungry or disgusted.
with a little underlayer of cat poop.
So pumpkin spice kitty litter would just be activated when they scratch it. And they have it on their paws, and then they get it on you. And then you're like, you've been in the cat box, haven't you? You can't do this.
No.
And then we should have done this one this way. Okay. Up next on the list is one of Harley's. Which why not? If you have a pumpkin scented tampon, you might as well have a pumpkin scented condom so they match.
Durex Condoms has pumpkin spice condoms, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true. Not only can you get them in fruit flavor, but if you're feeling super festive, have her go down on some pumpkin spice.
Gentlemen, if you want white girls, get the pumpkin spice.
And just
But
let
make
it flow
sure-
in
yeah.
the wind.
Just make sure she's got the yoga pants on first.
Because you know she's going to go for it. So, up next on our list is one of mine, dish soap. Because I'm sitting there thinking,
Why
dish
do I
soap.
want pumpkin spice dish soap?
Can you imagine pumpkin spice dish soap with some uber foul dishes and you're washing it and you've got the pumpkin spice tampon going on in the cat litter and you're just overloading and it's like pumpkin spice dish soap.
No.
Everything would smell like it in your pantry forever. Your glasses, your drinking tea would smell like pumpkin spice. Your plates would smell like... This is pumpkin spice hell. If there was ever one, it would be
This
dish
would be
soap.
my hell.
Pumpkin spice dish soap hell.
Pumpkin spice is my hell.
As we can tell as this list keeps going on. So, up next on our list of 10 wonderful pumpkin spice things that should never happen is one of Harley's.
Pumpkin spice peeps.
Now, this actually made my stomach turn when you said this one.
Seriously, I love peeps.
Everyone
I
loves
really
Peeps,
do.
But it's an Easter candy only. You don't put it other places.
Well, they have Halloween peeps, and you've got your little.
They don't exist. Peeps are an Easter candy only. You don't put them other places. And they tried with the flavors like blueberry and watermelon and
Those were weird.
sour raspberry. No, they weren't right. But a pumpkin spice peep would probably literally be open the gateway to hell.
Yes.
Like you would bite one of those.
We
the
actually,
pumpkin spice gateway to hell would open. The pumpkin spice
yeah.
would going, I am yours.
I actually got to go to the Peep store when we went to the Mall of America, and they had all the little weird flavors of Peeps, and they had like the chocolate Peeps with the marshmallows, which was fantastic. And I'm pretty sure if I had seen pumpkin spice while we were there, I would immediately just walked out.
She would have walked out totally because Peeps are an Easter candy, people. Don't freaking forget that. But up next on our list is one of my favorites, pumpkin spice lube. Personal lubricant for all of your needs.
You can buy this on Amazon. I know for a fact because I looked it up, but still,
She looked it up. So when you get your pumpkin spice condom action going on and you want to go where the pumpkin spice tampon doesn't go, get some pumpkin spice lube and she will just have that shit
everywhere. You will constantly smell the pumpkin spice.
We have ruined pumpkin spice for the rest of eternity. You know that, right?
I don't want pumpkin spice in my hoo-ha.
I'm going to throw up. You don't want pumpkin spice in your hoo-ha, but you wanted the pumpkin spice tampon, and the pumpkin spice condom was fine.
No, it wasn't. That's why it's no.
Oh my god. So next up on this list is one of Harley's.
Pumpkin spice Charmin Ultra toilet paper
So you can wipe away the pumpkin spice lube.
with more pumpkin spice.
Oh my god, I'm gonna pee. Who thinks of pumpkin spice toilet paper? Like,
Apparently Charmin Ultra and their weird bear commercials.
oh my god.
The weird
yeah.
bears are gonna wipe
Bears
their
are out
butt.
looking for the great pumpkin, rub it with some pumpkin spice toilet paper. Use that stuff as like lure for that Charlie Brown. No, no.
And the peeps, instead of the great pumpkin, it's gonna be a giant frickin' peep.
No. Okay, next on our pumpkin spice never to do list is one of mine, and it's trash bags because I was thinking if you have dish soap, pumpkin spice trash bag with all the funkiness that goes to your trash can, you know, would just be the foulest smell on the face of the planet.
I'm already carving jack-o'-lanterns. My trash can already smells like pumpkins.
So yeah, just like dish soap, trash cans are the gateway to hell for pumpkin spice because you'll so walk in your house. What the hell is that smell? It smells like a dead body. No, it's my pumpkin spice trash can.
It's pumpkin spice. Did you see my glitter pink jaggy?
So up next on our list is one of Harley's toothpaste.
Oh. I saw this. So I was at the store. Like I said, everything on my list I saw on the store. I walked by the toothpaste because Ben and Jill are running out of toothpaste. Walked by, and there is Colgate.
I love how all of your
Pumpkin
stuff is so
spice.
messed up because you can't get rid of the pumpkin lube and condom out of your mouth with pumpkin spice toothpaste. Like you've got.
Wait. Gets even better. With long-lasting pumpkin flavor.
Oh my God, you would not have coffee after that. So, the last one on our list, because I've got to wrap this up. We're too beyond the point. Is pumpkin spice flavored gasoline. Like you're pumping gas and it's got that pumpkin spice spit comes out your exhaust pipe, spreads it around, where everyone's like, "What the hell is that? What hipster did this? What hipster is gonna do this?"
The ones at Starbucks with the yoga pants. I had to buy this for this show specifically.
She blames me for the yoga pants.
I do.
Because it's pumpkin spice. So that's been our 10 things of things should never be pumpkin spiced.
Let's just say nothing should be pumpkin spiced ever.
But you're out of luck because we have a pumpkin spice thing next. We'll be right back with a brand new segment called Fanservice Bonus Level. Don't go anywhere. Everybody up for this. Here comes Eddie. Eddie, you gotta get a soda too. I found pumpkin spice soda. So we're gonna do a new fun thing to end the show. This is our Freak Food Challenge to do. Don't smell it. But get ready. So everyone open their sodas.
Are you in?
Don't smell it.
Don't smell it because it
I
smells
was
like
too
feet.
late.
Dude, look at your table, man. This is
All right, let's go.
That's all right. That's not too bad.
Oh, that's not bad.
What the hell?
Oh, the aftertaste is killing me. Oh.
Not on me.
not bad.
Darth Vader, Darth Vader's helmet.
Box right there.
That's actually pretty good.
God.
Actually, not terrible.
This is like when you go to when you're a kid.
Yeah,
Gavin, this reminds me when
Better
you're a
than last
kid
year's?
and you go to your grandmother's house and she always gives you that really bad candy.
It is. It's bad grandma candy right here.
So we can
Hey,
down
Gavin.
this with some pumpkin spice toothpaste.
This is your pumpkin spice lube right here,
Oh
man.
my, yeah.
Oh,
Hey, Gavin, you forgot one thing.
yeah.
Don't forget one
With your
thing.
pumpkin spice for
Pumpkin
JJ.
spice
Yeah,
hair
friend
gel.
told me you should
Pumpkin
have
spice hair gel.
You
Okay.
should have pumpkin spice.
I brought
leggings.
this so the entire
Yes.
crew could drink this nasty.
Oh, wait, by the
I
way,
took a sip. I'm
because
not
I
doing
have
it.
to add something.
It's not so bad.
There's a pumpkin spice porn parody.
Yes, there is. Have you seen my pumpkin spice?
Thanks for watching Fanservice. This will be the last show you ever see because you just got entirely turned off.
Jeffrey, do you need to go back to the closet?
Oh, run, Jeffrey, run!
Oh, Jeffrey.
It's not so
Why
bad.
are you still drinking that thing?
And that porn's not
I don't
bad
know.
either.
It's disgusting.
God.
It really.
Yeah. Oh, God.
No.
I'm not
Can I have
even.
another?
Yes, you can
Here,
take them all.
here, Alice, take it.
So you want to switch the slide on the bottom so it's updated as well? Thank you. So that's been it for this episode of
I didn't find the soda that bad, actually.
craziness. This
You're
stuff
gross.
was so nasty.
I'm pretending I drank this one because somebody else drank it for me.
Oh, I can still taste it. Wait,
Thank
is there
you.
still one in there?
Yes.
PJ has to.
There's still one in there.
PJ has to do it.
Why would you torture this poor man?
PJ,
He's gonna remember this. I'm
I
telling you
hope
right
so.
now. He's gonna remember
This
this,
is
and
gonna-
you guys are gonna get bloody.
Pumpkin spice gore cannon.
Oh, he's a champ.
So
at
the man,
this.
so the man
I
also
like
ate a
pumpkin
pig
spice.
soup.
This is not pumpkin spice. This is like grandmother's candy
Hey,
from
hey,
your
hey.
childhood.
That's horrible shit.
All right, so we're out of time on this episode. How can everyone find Texas Terror Challenge again?
TexasTerrorChallenge.com.
You can go find all the information you need for that and to sign up. We will be down there having lots of fun watching Jeffrey scream like a girl because that's what he does.
Oh yeah.
And
You can find me in a really cute costume, guarantee it.
That's what she says now, but you haven't seen her bloody gosh. God, I still taste this soda.
This is disgusting.
So anyways, we will not be on next week. We will be live on Facebook, so you make sure you want to catch that. We're going to be doing a Creepy Side of YouTube show.
Hey, the nice thing about being live on Facebook, we're gonna be uncensored for that episode.
Very
Well,
uncensored.
mostly Facebook actually does have rules.
Yeah,
Be
we didn't know
prepared
Facebook
for my
had
foul
rules.
mouth.
So, yes, and then we'll be back after that. Well, PJ will be back on in the middle of the month to do our first ever Halloween cookbook show where we're going to show you all the fun things you can make for Halloween, like slime and blood and whatever else he and Harley can concoct.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be
because
fabulous.
They're just having lots of fun.
I feel really sick.
I told you that's why I took a sip and then handed it off.
Don't forget to check us out on www.fanboytv.com. We have a new updated website. We're gonna have all sorts of little new fun shenanigans coming up, and also it gives you some little spoilers for our next year episodes.
Also, don't
next
forget,
season.
Eddie Rotten Zombie Life TV's live at 10 o'clock. In an hour from now, he's got a great guest coming on, and we'll be over there, but I guarantee you won't have as much fun as pumpkin condoms and soda.
That was just wrong.
was fabulous.
Don't forget our Facebook.
Don't forget our
We're
Facebook.
really close to 600, guys. Get us over 600.
Let's
we
do
might
it.
do something silly for you.
And last but not least, our Twitch mention.
Oh, yes. Follow me on Twitch at Pocky_FTTV on Beam or Twitch and enjoy yourself. Good going there, buddy. Good going. Solid there.
Oh, it smells
Give
like
it a
it
Get
tastes like
any onion?
pumpkin spice.
It smells like pumpkin
it will
spice.
We
So-
got special feeds on live streaming for Facebook too. We have all sorts of.
Catch us online. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks back live. But that's it. Everyone say goodbye. Let's wrap up the show.
Bye.
That's bad.
Thank you.